Hi, everybody. Peter Lurie here to take you through the week on HRTV. The year is coming to a close, but the horse of the year still needs to be decided. Zenyatta or Blame?
First, it was racing's all-time richest horse that stood in between Zenyatta and Horse of the Year honors.
Curlin has taken the lead. The #1 horse in the world remains that way today.
Last year, despite winning the Breeders' Cup Classic, Zenyatta would take a backseat once again, this time to a filly for the ages.
And the filly did it! Rachel Alexandra!
After a brief retirement, Zenyatta would return in 2010 and win 5 more Grade 1 events.
Zenyatta, the way she wins, gives you goosebumps. Zenyatta is playing with them. Here she comes!
Meanwhile, back east, a lightly raced colt would start to make a name for himself.
Blame, though, is flashing home on the outside. Here comes Blame, Grade 1 Stephen Foster.
Blame would develop into a powerhouse in the handicap division.
A photo finish that Blame got!
Now, November 6th at Churchill Downs, Zenyatta and Blame would meet in the most anticipated Breeders' Cup Classic in 2 decades.
Zenyatta is flying, Blame trying to hold on, Blame, and Zenyatta, the lane has won it ahead.
The race of the year? For Horse of the Year. Maybe. Pursuit of Horse of the Year starts right now. All will be decided January 17th in South Florida at the Fontainebleau Hotel. So if the guys next to me don't vote, who does vote? Here's the breakdown. You have 128 members of the National Turf Riders Association, 55 members of the NTRA, and 61 reporters and editors from the Daily Racing Form. More importantly, guys, where are they based, specifically when you discuss this would-be quote-unquote East Coast bias?
Well, if you cut this into a pie shape, the pie is a little bit uneven, Jeff.
It does look like Kentucky is where you want to be, and they've got 31 electoral votes.
Yeah, Blame is a Kentucky horse.
Yeah, this is true. You may have an edge there. But, of course, last year we thought it would be an East versus West situation as well, with Rachel in the East and, of course, Zenyatta out here on the West Coast.
Is that about what you expected, Jeff, going in terms of the voting?
I thought it'd be closer, but I was not surprised that Rachel Alexandra won. She was certainly a very deserving Horse of the Year. But I thought that it would be, close, and it really wasn't. And I think going in, I think a lot of people thought it could go either way. It wasn't at all.
We welcome in Blame's trainer, Al Stahl. What would Horse of the Year honors for Blame mean to you specifically? Adele Dilschneider, Claiborne Farm, and the Hancocks. What would winning this award mean to everyone affiliated with Blame?
Right. Well, starting at the top, it would obviously mean a lot to Claiborne. I think they've only had a co-horse of the year. I think it was Moccasin, 2-year-old filly shared with somebody. It would be a first for them. It's a horse that's, thick and thin, all Claiborne blood, through and through, I should say. It goes back 60 years, 5 or 6 dams, generations. So it would obviously mean a lot to them. They stand the sire. They have the mare. Adele Dilschneider is a great person. She's a very loyal client. She's been with Claiborne for 20-some-odd years. So she's always been a top-of-the-line owner and deserves a horse like this. And for me, I'm just really along for the ride. I'm very appreciative to have that type of horse who had that kind of bloodline. That pedigree came out in him clearly towards the end of his year. He was a great athlete. He stayed sound. So I was just along for the ride, and I'm just happy to be part of the team.
The debate for Horse of the Year is on, and HRTV's analysts picked who they think deserve the honor.
As we wind it down, I know that it's pretty clear, I think, whose corner everyone would be in. Joanne, if you did have a vote, your vote would be for who and why?
I think it'll surprise people, Zenyatta. I think that she deserves it on her body of work. See,
You
once
beat her
again.
up for 3 years and you get that.
But see, the people
She can't
think
change.
for some reason that I'm a Zenyatta hater. I'm a handicapper. My job is to go out there and try and beat a favorite if I can. And I thought she was vulnerable in many situations, but I do think she deserves Horse of the Year.
Winding down, Aaron, your thoughts?
Head-to-head matchup matters. I agree with you. I give it to Blame. Horse of the decade is Zenyatta, but Horse of the Year, I give it to Blame.
Zenyatta, horse of the last quarter century on a 12-month span from January 1st of this year till December 31st of this year. My vote would go for Blame.
You know, there's a scene in the movie A Few Good Men in which Tom Cruise's character tells his client, who had been court-martialed, that you don't have to wear a patch on your sleeve to have honor. Zenyatta doesn't need a trophy. I don't care if she wins or loses. She's still the champion in my book.
Nathan Jessup likes Zenyatta. Carolyn.
5 grade ones, 2 different surfaces, 3 states, and a huge race where luck is what beat her, and finally, because she'd overcome it with her style 19 times prior. I give it to Zenyatta.
If Zenyatta loses this, by the way, somebody better order a code red.
Santa Anita's opening day was on its usual December 26th date, but this year it returned to a dirt surface.
On December 26th, it will be happy days are here again for a lot of people as thoroughbred racing returns to Santa Anita Park, the great race place. Happy holidays, and it will be a happy day, opening day at Santa Anita. Not only the return of dirt racing, but Carolyn Connolly, it will also be the return of racing following the longest period of time without live racing at Santa Anita since 1968.
And it's felt so strange without the horses here for the Oak Tree meeting, but they are back. As of December 6th, horses have been training over this new dirt main track. It's composed of 90% sand and 10% clay, and Ted Malloy was here to oversee the installation of the dirt itself, and then it's been handed over to Richard Tedesco to maintain the track, much as he's done with the synthetics over the years. So the horsemen are coming back with rave reviews. We're all excited to see this return to dirt racing because the history of Santa Anita has been over the dirt. The first track that Elias Lucky Baldwin opened was across the park area over in Arcadia Park, and that was back in 1907. Then Hal Roach teamed up with Doc Strube to open the existing plant in 1934. It was a dentist and former baseball player in Strube and a motion picture magnate and polo player in Hal Roach that gave us the Santa Anita we know today.
And I think there's going to be a real comfort level in terms of the horse players, because horse players generally are more comfortable playing races on the dirt. So I think they're going to be very happy about the return to dirt at Santa Anita.
So we're going to do a bullet drill here with a holiday theme. First question.
All right.
Christmas shopping.
Okay.
Online or stand in line? And remember, I've seen you stand in line at the windows.
But I don't like to.
Okay.
So I'm an online guy. I get a little nervous when I'm standing in line, especially when I'm trying to get down on a bet and the guy up front doesn't know what he's saying. I don't like that. So I'm an online guy.
All right, so shopping. How about the Christmas presents under the tree? Are you a many small presents guy or a couple of really nice big ones?
No, I go for the big ones. I mean, when I don't mess around. When I buy presents, they are not necessarily, they're big.
They're drivable.
They're drivable, yeah. They're big. They're big. I don't know the little stuff. No, I don't mess with that. The big stuff.
If you look at Santa Anita over the years, opening day cards 1 to 10. This might be a 10.
It is, and I have been coming to opening day at Santa Anita since.
He's old. Remember, he's old.
Since Eisenhower was president.
Really old.
That's old.
He's really old.
But I was there back in the 50s.
Might be a 10?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 10. The 10 horse minimums in every race.
The day after Christmas was opening day at the great race place, Santa Anita Park.
April 18th, 2010. Before today, the last time a thoroughbred horse race was contested at Santa Anita Park.
Urban Bay will win it, and Urban Bay has won the San Juan.
That's 252 days, the longest gap in between live races at Santa Anita since 1969. Today marks the dawn of a new era, and while the landscape has changed once again, one constant remains. This is still the great race place.
Seabiscuit in front, by a hander. Seabiscuit wins it, a new world championship down there. He wins it, and listen to the crowd.
Coming into the final 16th of a mile. It's John Henry getting to the front by 1 length. John Henry.
This is unbelievable. Zenyatta, what a performance, one we'll never forget.
The calendar is about to turn, but first, the final Grade 1 event of 2010. Welcome to day 1 of the 76th annual Winter-Spring Meet at Santa Anita Park.
Opening day stakes kicked off with the California Breeders' Champion Stakes.
Arresting officer contemplated 31st Street, tries to run on late, but arresting officers hanging on desperately. Now here's 31st Street, 31st Street will get him, 31st Street perfectly timed, gives Bayerano 3.
Arresting officer thought he ran super in defeat. Peter Lurie is with his trainer, Mike Mitchell.
Yeah, and I thought Joe used his brains. He rode a real good race. I thought there was some cheap speed in front, knocking it and banging it out. He laid off of it, moved real nice. The winner ran a big race. He ran a good race. The time is a little bit better. That 106 and change in the last race kind of skipped, but I think that's a pretty nice horse. But I'm very happy with the race. It's a good race.
Mark, congratulations. Take us through the race.
Thank you so much. I know Rafi said he was going to be off the pace a little bit, and he did that. He was back a little further than I would have liked, and that run through the stretch, unbelievable, zigging in and out, and oh man, was that exciting. A special thank you. I'm thrilled to be on Team O'Neill, baby, right there. And special kudos to Beto and Cowboy, okay? And my wife Frida and my son Matt, who I'm partners with on this horse. Can you believe it?
I think it's a paid commercial.
I think this is the point where the music starts kicking in for the Academy Awards. The Grade 1 La Brea kicked off the Sadler Benavides Rosario Stakes domination.
Switch opens up to lead by 3 lengths now. Always a princess. Now here's Malibu Pier running on in the orange cap. They come for home. Switch is well clear. Malibu Pier running on late, but not to get to Switch. An emphatic win from this daughter of quiet Americans. Switch and Joel Rosario take the La Brea. Malibu Pier a very game second. Then close Shotgun Gulch and Always a Princess.
She didn't have to hold off Zenyatta today. Switch in the La Brea, her first Grade 1 victory.
38th edition of the La Brea Stakes going to Switch. John Sadler on the men with a bum knee. John, congratulations. Assistant trainer Larry Benavides. Larry, congratulations. Eric Yost said that Champagne Dior was going to roll. We did not see that, but we saw an ultra strong performance.
Yeah, that's the way she trained the past 3 weeks, so we're not really surprised. She's a top quality mare, and she's going to have a big year next year.
Has the game plan been laid out already?
I do not believe so, and Mr. Searing and John will talk about it, but we're just happy to get this Grade 1 out of the way today.
All right, Mr. Searing, of course, of CRK, Lee Searing, congratulations, your first Grade 1 for Switch. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's a wonderful feeling. I want to first wish John get well soon, and second of all, this is just a sign of people that bought her and John's patience with horses. It's just wonderful. We're very excited.
How happy are you that we're back at Santa Anita with dirt?
I love the dirt. Things are looking up.
The Sir Beaufort Stakes was taken off the turf, but that didn't stop Sydney's Candy from dominating this Grade 3 race.
The last time Sydney's Candy ran at Santa Anita, this was the result.
But it's a one-horse race. That one horse is Sydney's Candy, who will be carrying the hopes of California all the way to the Kentucky Derby.
Churchill Downs would not be as kind to the high-class front runner.
Number 20, Sydney's Candy.
He couldn't beat the track or the post, but maybe this was a blessing in disguise.
They would need to sprout wings to get to Sydney's Candy. He's back in style.
And while the plan was to race on turf once again, Mother Nature had other ideas. So it's back to the main track for the Santa Anita Derby champ. The Grade 3 Sir Beaufort Stakes is next.
5 lengths clear and getting stronger as he goes. An absolutely scintillating performance from Sydney's Candy. Never gave them a chance. Sydney's Candy and Joel Rosario romping home in the Sir Beaufort. Indian Firewater second. Next door neighbor was third.
Shades of the Santa Anita Derby, a no doubt about it performance from Sydney's Candy, wire to wire in the Grade 3 Sir Beaufort Stakes.
Yeah, and shades of Daddy too. I worked him one morning at Del Mar. He worked a mile in 1:34, and he did it about like Sydney's Candy just ran just now. Jeff, we were talking, he looks like he's maybe struggling a little bit down the backside. He wasn't, he just kept hitting gears.
You know, he runs with his neck sticking out and almost like he's looking for air, but the only air that he had was the ones that he was kicking up behind. I mean, I guess he can handle the dirt.
Did he feel like he was going as fast as he was, considering the times that you were clipping off?
He's a really good horse, and you can even not feel like he got that fast. You know, he's a good-looking horse, and he just keep going. You know, he go 22:45, and he never stop.
Did you have to shake him up much to finish down the lane?
No, really, just a couple times, and I hear Trevor, you know, easily, and they just take it easy after that.
Jeff Siegel had the right angle for handicapping 7 furlongs on the premiere of West Rock Coffee First Call.
One of the things that we look for as handicappers are angles and what we can do. How can we improve? How can we get better? And I know you've got some ideas on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are certain handicapping axioms that apply to all types of races. You know, you want to look for good current form and high percentage connections and edge and speed figures, the usual stuff. However, there are situations such as the distance of the race in which specific factors should be emphasized, and that's the subject of today's edition of The Right Angle.
Way they go to a good beginning.
Accepting that 7 furlong races are somewhat unique, we tried to pinpoint the positive factors that a horse player can lean on when playing events at this distance, specifically at Santa Anita, by examining races from the year 2007, when racing was conducted on dirt, and races from the most recent Santa Anita season, the last year of the Pro Ride era. Front runners and pace pressers were more effective back in 2007 on dirt than they were last year on synthetic. In 2007, 31% of all 7 furlong winners either led gate to wire or were never more than a length behind the leader at any stage, compared to only 25% last year on Pro Ride. A logical explanation, the presence of kickback in dirt races that can discourage the closers. The form at 7 furlongs was much more dependable on dirt back in 2007 than it was last year on synthetic, with favorites winning at 43% compared to only 30% last year. This made sense. California horse players have a tendency to gravitate to early speed, and speed sticks better on dirt than plastic. We examined horses starting from the extreme inside post position, the rail, to horses starting from the extreme outside post, and learned that on both dirt and synthetic at 7 furlongs at Santa Anita, it was better to be outside than inside. The discrepancy was a bit more pronounced on dirt in 2007, so this year, with the return to sand and clay, if you like a horse leaving from the rail at 7 furlongs, you'd better like him a lot.
3-year-old horses went postward for the Grade 1 Malibu Stakes at Santa Anita.
They come for home, Smiling Tigers all hot, Twirling Candy catching, Twirling Candy, Smiling Tiger, Twirling Candy up to win the Malibu by a nose over Smiling Tiger, and then it'll be a photo El Sindor and Coracotado.
What a thriller in the 2010 Malibu Stakes. Twirling Candy and Smiling Tiger hitting the wire together.
Took a track record to beat their colt, Smiling Tiger. That's a great race by the winner, Twirling Candy. Broke the track record going 7/8 of a mile.
We just found out that you broke Spectacular Bid's track record. How does that feel? Knowing a great horse like that, you're able to break the track record.
Well, it's feeling good, you know, to me, to be in this horse, like seeing it, like Twirling Candy, he's a really nice horse, and you know, it's unbelievable feeling for me. Yeah.
3 stakes wins today. How do you explain that?
Well, you know, it's a feel good. You know, just keep doing what I'm, you know, working every day and see, you know, and I say thank you, you know, to all the connections, John Sala, you know, Larry, the assistant too. He do a really good job always, you know, and John, you know, he's my daddy, so it's unbelievable feeling for me.
Well, congratulations. I know you got to get going. That's the way to start the meet. And Larry, did you have a chance to talk to John yet?
Not yet.
What would you tell him? He's sitting at home watching right now. What do you tell him?
Can I get a week off? Yeah.
Could you ever come into a day like this and expect things to go as well as they did for your barn?
John made $1 million audible on Thursday. He told me to send him to Hollywood and breeze them over there. So I think we got a work into him where the others didn't. So that might have helped in the cause. But those are 3 grade 1 horses. So we were pretty confident going into today.
And like I said to Joel, being able to top Spectacular Bid as far as a final time, how does that feel? Does it hit you?
Well, growing up, you come and see the Bid and the Pacer. Those are 2 of the best horses, ever. So it's pretty astonishing to break that record.
Well, Larry, congratulations. And John, this man needs a week off if you're watching at home. It's backed by everybody here at Santa Anita Park.
HRTV gave you some inside information on retired Hall of Fame jockey Randy Ramiro.
We fly from the fairgrounds to Delta Downs to ride a horse in Jean Lafitte Futurity Trials. Barely got there in time, and I rode the horse. And the horse was sweating and nervous because she was so psyched out. She was halfway nuts. We put her in the gate, and as soon as she broke the gate, she darted to the outside fence, and I jumped off. And when I did, I landed on my leg, and I snapped my femur. I could hear it. I said, F***, I broke my femur bone, and I'm leading riding in the country. I can't believe this.
HRTV remembers the racing greats we lost in 2010.
Black Tie Affair on the inside, Twilight Agenda, Black Tie Affair, and a front-running masterpiece.
As far back as I can remember, he was probably one of the best trainers in California. Nova was, he was probably the best.
Of all 12 lifetime starts, sought to close out her career as the first major undefeated horse in 80 years.
A dramatic finish, and here is the wire, and it is personal legendary.
Snow Chief, he's too good for the Santa Anita Derby field.
It is Skip Away who crushed the opposition today.
Sando grandstand side, Kip DeVille will win it. Kip DeVille has won it.
It is all John's call. John's call.
That's all for HRTV this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week.